seeing it on the B-roll right now. Super Mario RPG on the Switch. It's here. It's been here for what, a week?
Yeah, almost exactly a week.
Yeah.
This Friday came out the 17th.
Yeah, it came out the 17th, so it's been here for about a week. I just rolled credits on this bad boy on Sunday, personally. Listen, here's the deal. Super Mario RPG, this is a old school, classic style RPG. If you're used to modern day RPG trimmings, you might want to skip it. It's not exactly user friendly. The isometric platforming is still kind of weird and wonky, but I will say, if you grew up with this game, or you just really like Mario,
yeah,
you really, really, really need to play this game. Like, this is a insane nostalgia trip. This game is an insane time warp. You can switch, like, they remastered all the music. As you can see, the graphics are completely new. Have a huge facelift. They're not the digitized 3D assets put onto a 2D isometrical plane like in the Super Nintendo. They are 100% authentic 3D. It looks fantastic. I will say, the timing is still very tight for all the attacks, even though the timing your attack perfectly on the frame not only does splash damage and perfect damage now, and just like timing your attack timing your defense on the frame negates all damage. So you still have those. This game, I think, is best played portable, because this is one of those games that really makes you feel the lag that the Switch has inherently, because I'll just say it like this: you put your Switch onto the dock goes through, sends the signal through into the TV, and if you're trying to do anything else, and then every TV is different, like you shouldn't be using a capture card with this game. All the timing is still Super Nintendo type.
Wow. Yeah, something for a bit of the boundaries of the Switch over here.
Just a little bit. It's not a huge deal. I will say, for my money, I felt like there was a lot of chaff cut out. A lot of sequences, like boss battles that felt like they took a million years, did not feel like they took as long in this game, especially if you're getting your timing down.
Okay.
I felt like some areas, like I think Bean Valley and Caro Caro Sewers and Booster Tower, surprisingly enough, they all felt like they were cut short a little bit. Like maybe a room or two was eliminated. Maybe a couple of enemies or encounters. The encounters were toned down. It just feels like an overall shorter game. I think I went from I think my total time at the end of it was 10 hours.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So it's a bit...
Yeah, not a lot of getting lost in the sewers then.
Yeah, no, it didn't feel like it. And it might just be my experience. This was my very first RPG that I ever played. It got me into RPGs back on the Super Nintendo. But I gotta say, whenever I played this on the Wii U, whenever I played this on my SNES Classic, I felt the grinds.
Of course, yeah. It's from an era when things were still what they called like Nintendo hard.
And agreed. And it's one of those. It's an interesting. I don't know. I haven't done a side by side, but it really makes me want to plug in the old SNES Classic and do a side by side. Because if I can finish the OG Super Mario RPG in 10 hours, will flabbergast me.
Yeah, it would feel completely different.
and I'm make no mistake, everybody. I didn't do every single side mission. but I did the good ones. I got my lazy shell. I got my frying pan. I got my drill claw. I got all of the extra gear. The jinx belt.
Wow.
The ghost pin. I got all that stuff. I got everything,
Yeah.
and I still clocked in about 10 hours.
Yeah, but if you are a Mario fan,
Yes.
you will see a side of Nintendo that you have just not
never
seen
ever seen.
before.
Well, it's not really Nintendo, and that's another really good
Yep.
part about that this game is that if you're a Nintendo fan or a Square fan,
Yeah, maybe more of a Square fan.
you will like this game, especially because this game they faithfully recreate enemy designs.
Yep.
So that you don't need to they don't like Nintendo-fy all of the enemies, you know, like you know, a lot of modern remakes today will touch up everybody and make them look a little bit more uniform. I hate it when people say sanitize. I think they make it more look like I hate that. I honestly think when people say sanitize, they think they make it more like an action figure or more like looks more like a toy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't hear that much.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Google ad or like a picture of the day they have on Google.
Yeah, right. So it's just one of those things like this, and make no mistake, Mario RPG was the RPG that innovated the quote unquote timed attack. You're seeing it right here in the B-roll. You hit the guy, and then you hit him again if you hit the button press in the right time. You know, if the guys
also felt good in Paper Mario.
Yeah, exactly, Driggs. It goes on in every Mario RPG. If you played any Mario RPG, this is the progenitor. It literally started all the way back in what 1999. Yeah. So
if you like a Paper Mario, you'll love this
remake. If you love any Paper Mario, if you love Mario and Luigi, the handheld RPGs, you will love this remake. It's fantastic in that way. The ways, and the new post game is also kind of cool. There is a brand new post game that they added to the game. It's minimalist, but I think it's pretty good. It gives a little bit more punch to some familiar boss fights that you may or some unique boss fights that you may or may not want to experience on a higher difficulty. So that's fun. It's
nice, a little bit of a incentive to hit the end there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So, but like I said, if you're more of a modern RPG guy, you like your Final Fantasies, even your like Final Fantasy 15s, you like your Tales of games, you like your Atelier games, you're probably not going to get a lot from this. Like, not unless you're like interested in like the history of what you're playing.
Yeah, even the IGNs and like the bigger reviews that I've read on this, that's what they're saying is that it's only restrictions are that it's from that time,
and it's so faithfully made to it.
Yeah, and I mean that's what you want kind of in a remake. Like you can't just completely lose sight of the original, and the isometric platforming is definitely a part of that. Like we didn't know what we were doing. It was decades ago now. It's definitely something to get used to. I hope you like hitting diagonal on a directional pad.
Well, you have a thumbstick now. You have a thumbstick now, so it's a little bit easier, but it feels a little bit smoother, but it's not exactly great. But
yeah, it's not something people choose to do often, but I like it. I at least remember it fondly.
No, I remember it fondly as well. Hey, it's the only isometric game that I thought controlled worth a damn. So
yeah. Actually, when else are you even platforming? I mean, there was like maybe Landstalker for the Sega Genesis.
I was about to say you have Landstalker.
Yeah, or there's one for the Saturn I was playing recently, Dark Savior. But still, you don't see it very often, and this one did it good enough so that we remember it, we love it, we brought it back. And yeah, I got my physical copy ready to go. I'm ready to play the hell out of this.
Hell yeah! So Super Mario RPG. If you're a fan, awesome. If you're not a fan or you don't remember it fondly, you might just want to skip it. If you are interested in game preservation and game history, there are a lot of innovations that were introduced back when this game was originally released that make it worth playing again to see how these essentially came about and what they felt like. Because I gotta tell you, Drix, the game still feels Super Nintendo, for better or worse. It's not for everyone. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that whole super tight timing, on the frame hits to get the most out of everything. You know, there are even times, you know, you might think that you have your timing down, and then you get deeper into the game, and then enemies, they fake you out. There's a faster animation cycle of what they normally do. You know what I mean? You see me on the B-roll.
You have to dodge, so it pulls like.
Yo, totally. Like, and you see me on the B-roll. One of the newest features of the game is this like meter system that hooks into the chain system. It works pretty well, and I have an 18 chain right here. But like I said, make no mistake, you will go up against an enemy who will like fake you out or make you drop your chain. And dropping your chain really sucks because having a high chain gives you a big boost to damage and all that other kind of stuff. So like the game does feel like the tug of war is still there. So a lot of these outlets saying that it's like on the easier side, yeah, I guess, but only if you're experienced. If you've never played this game before, you might find yourself getting messed up pretty bad.
Yeah, the timing really keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
And, you know, for what it is worth, like, the Super Nintendo copy of this game still goes for, like, $200, $250 in collectible circles, you know? So it's one of the few games out there, especially for a Super Nintendo RPG, that's actually worth more now than it did whenever it came out. Like, you have to pay more for this now than you did when you bought it at Toys R Us, guys.
Which is kind of nuts.
It is absolutely nuts. It's a bucket list. Before I die, I have to beat this game RPG.
Absolutely. I think that's the same thing for any Mario fan, for any Square fan. So Super Mario RPG Remake. If you haven't picked it up, skip it if you're not a fan. Skip it if you're not interested in a history lesson. Skip it if you're not into RPGs. But if this is a great my first RPG, if you're someone who's never really dove into RPGs, this is a great jumping point. No pun intended.
Jump man.
Yeah, right. Great jumping point. This is like I said, a great history lesson of a game. A lot of subtle innovations. Not only subtle innovations, but absolute genre warping innovations like timed attacks. So if you want to experience that, there's a lot of good in here, a lot of bang for your buck. I think it's really nice. It's worth it at the price point if it's what you're looking for.
Yep. I mean, what is really the best Final Fantasy, and why is it Super Mario RPG?
Exactly. Why? What version of Final Fantasy VI is better? Final Fantasy VI or Super Mario RPG? Like.